Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be making some macaroni and cheese based off of a Betty Crocker recipe that I have, adding a little bit of my own touch to it. But mainly the macaroni and cheese, the big thing in my macaroni and cheese is going to be these cute little, and I don't know if I'm saying them right, Langostino. I'm saying that right. Langostino Tails. I found these at Trader Joe's. Everything that I am using here today actually is from Trader Joe's for the most part. I think other than maybe the country crock butter, and I don't know about the cornstarch. I might not have gotten that there, but everything else is from there. So these cute little tails are actually kind of like a mix between lobster tail, shrimp, and crab. They're a little bit sweeter than lobster would be. So they're really, really good. They were $14.99 for a bag, and you get 12 ounces of them. So, and they're already cooked and peeled. So they're all ready to eat. So I'm just going to be putting these in when I go to bake my macaroni and cheese. But over here, I've already gotten started. I boiled up my pasta. Again, it was from Trader Joe's. I needed, actually I'm doubling the batch. So instead of 7 ounces, I needed 14 ounces. I actually boiled up 16 ounces, but that's okay because I'm going to add a little extra stuff in there to kind of make up for that. So I boiled that for 10 minutes. They're all ready. So while those are over there, I'm going to get my roux going here for my macaroni and cheese. So I'm using a half a stick of country crock plant-based butter. Get that on, get that melted up. And then as soon as it's melted up, I'm going to put 4 tablespoons of cornstarch in it. You can also use flour too. I try to use cornstarch when I can. It doesn't seem to turn out as lumpy. And I kind of feel as though it's better for you than all the flour. So I'll be using that. And then while this butter is melting up, I'll tell you what kind of cheeses I used. I used several different ones. So they're all from Trader Joe's. The first one I used was New Zealand sharp cheddar. Then I used an Asiago cheese with rosemary and olive oil. And then I used a Toscano cheese with black pepper. And these 2 cheeses are actually kind of harder cheeses. So I used 1 cup of each of those, shredded up, and then I used about 2 cups of New Zealand one. That one is a little bit softer and melts out a little bit easier. Okay, so I have the butter on medium. It's just about melted up. I don't like to turn it on too high because then it can start to burn. That looks pretty good. So I'll take my 4 tablespoons of cornstarch, sprinkle that in, and use my whisk to get that all made into a roux. It's getting pretty good, so I'm going to shut this off for right now. Okay, so that looks good. Now I'm going to take my 4 cups of almond milk. I picked an unsweetened almond milk from Trader Joe's. I'm going to just slowly put that in there and keep whisking as I go. Okay, so the instructions are to bring the milk mixture to a boil for about 1 minute and then shut it off. To me, it's getting thick enough, so I don't like my macaroni and cheese to be too dried out. So after I could tell that it was starting to change to be thicker, I shut it off. So now I'm getting ready to put my cheese in. Okay, so next I'm just going to remove it from the heat for now and put cheese in. Also, I'm also going to go and add one of the key ingredients, and of course it doesn't tell you this in Betty Crocker Recipe, and I don't really know it really tells you in any recipes. I like to put a little bit of garlic powder in because that is truly what gives it some kind of flavor. Otherwise, it can be a little bit boring. So, take this out. My cheese in. All right. And even though it has black pepper in the one cheese, I'm going to grind up a little bit more black pepper. It says you need about a half of a teaspoon. So I'm just going to kind of grind that up close enough. All right. I'll put it back on the heat. Get that stirring up. It'll thicken. One more ingredient that I'm going to put in, it does not call for it in Betty Crocker recipe, is cream cheese. I started doing this a few months ago and I really liked it. Now this one is a lactose-free one from Trader Joe's. So I'm going to take about half of this container. So I think it's an 8-ounce container. Yeah, 8 ounce. So I'm going to put about 4 ounces of this cream cheese in there. There we go. And it helps to thicken it, but also keep it creamy at the same time. Okay, get all that melted up in there, and then we'll get ready to add our little tails to it. Okay, the cheese sauce is all ready to go. I'm just going to add it to my macaronis over there and the tails. Okay, so I put the package of the tails in there with the pasta, and now let's bring this cheese sauce over. Put that in there. Oh, also have to preheat my oven at 350. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes since I put the macaroni and cheese in. I think it's done. There we go. It is bubbling and hot. So as always, thank you so much everyone for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, macaroni and cheese with the little, whatever they're called, Langostino or whatever, tails that I get from Trader Joe's. Let me know if you've ever found them anywhere else other than Trader Joe's. That's the only place so far I've been able to find them. And it's just been within the last few months really that I've seen them there. When we lived in New York, I don't ever remember seeing them at the Trader Joe's up there. But of course we moved back at the end of 2021. So perhaps I just missed them when I would go there, or maybe they have them now and it's a new item. Either way, they're so delicious. And if you, like I say, have any other recommendations as to where I can buy them, let me know. And also, you know, get a little creative with macaroni and cheese. Make your favorite recipe if you have one for macaroni and cheese. I know the recipe that they serve at the Pirate's House in Savannah is delicious. And I've actually found the recipe and I've made it a few times. Doesn't quite taste like theirs, so I'm not quite sure what I'm missing in it, but it is delicious. So again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again soon.